If you are a woman over 40 and you feel like you are running out of time to save for retirement, you are not alone. I am 45 years old and I did not start investing until the age of 44. And one of the biggest things that I learned was that my retirement accounts by themselves will not be enough for me to catch up. And so in today's video, I want to be sharing with you some of the things that I wish someone would have told me years ago that you can start applying to your retirement account today. So let me start with what frustrated me the most when I actually sat down to look at my retirement accounts. I noticed that my Roth IRA is capped at $7,500 as well as my SEP combined. And then when I turn 50, it's now capped at $8,000. Now, if you have a 401k through an employer, you're now capped at $24,500. Now, here's the thing, investing in those accounts is essential. You should always be contributing and trying to max out every single year. But here's the thing about starting over after 40 years old. It's just not going to be enough money to catch up. You need somewhere where you can actually grow and there's no ceiling. And so the question becomes, where else can I actually put my money where I'm not going to be capped? And that's exactly what led me to the thing that nobody ever really told me about. And of course, I heard about the stock market and investing, but honestly, I did not think that that was for me. And so a brokerage account is how you're able to remove that cap. So a brokerage account is another investment account, but it sits outside of your Roth IRA as well as your 401k. The great thing about this is there is no contribution limit. So you can put in as much money as you want, as often as you want. Your money is actually getting invested into the market where the market has returns from anywhere between 8 and 10%. And this is going to grow over time. It's growing while you're sleeping, while you're traveling, while you're working, while you're just living your life. And honestly, this is the account that removes the ceiling. Because when I was looking at my Roth IRA, I was like, there's no way, there's no way that I can catch up. But with a brokerage account, now it removes the ceiling and I can actually grow my money a lot faster and close the gap for starting a little bit later. The only thing is, I wish I would have looked into this sooner. And it's so crazy because, you hear about these things, but it doesn't become a necessity until it becomes a necessity. So I honestly didn't really start learning about investing into the stock market until the age of 44. So once I opened my brokerage account, the next question was, what do I actually put my money into? Right now, across all my accounts, I'm investing in index funds, ETFs. And so my funds that I'm specifically investing in are VOO, which tracks the S&P 500, which are the top 500 companies in America. So with my Roth and my SEP IRA, I kind of made a plan to invest in VOO currently right now, but I do plan to move my money to VTSAX, which is Vanguard's total stock market index fund. And it covers the entire US stock market, not just the top 500 companies. So you get massive exposure to other companies as well. It's broader. But the only thing about this is there is a minimum of $3,000 requirement. And so what I plan to do is pay off my final 2 debt that I have set to pay off this year. And then I can go ahead and start working towards those accounts. So when I'm looking at my SoFi account, so I have a brokerage account with SoFi, I'm keeping VOO as my foundation. I also invest in VGT, which is tech companies, and then VTI. However, as I'm learning and growing, I know that there's a lot of overlap. So if you're looking at VTI and VOO, it's pretty similar. And so I do plan to diversify and switch things up later. But I think right now, what's important is getting starting somewhere. Again, I want to add that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing everything that I'm learning along the way. And as I adjust and grow, I want to share it with you too. I also want you to keep in mind, as I mentioned before, that the average return over time in the stock market is between 8 and 10%, which is significantly more than you just keeping your money in a bank account and not doing anything. And when I actually ran the numbers of what things can look like over time, that's when everything clicked for me. So if I'm investing $500 a month with an 8% return for the next 20 years, that's roughly around $275,000. Let's say that I invest $2,000 per month for the next 20 years with the same 8% return. Now we're looking at over $1 million at the age of 65. Now that's on top of what you would have in your Roth IRA or your 401k. And that's why a brokerage account is so important, because it changed everything for me. It is the fastest way to close the gap when you are starting to rebuild your retirement account after the age of 40. And here's the thing that I want you to keep in mind. That money doesn't come from nowhere. Remember, we talk all the time about multiple income streams, okay? So when you have multiple income streams, money coming from various areas, you now can invest even more money, and every single dollar is accounted for, and you can pour that into your brokerage account. If you are a woman over 40 and no one has ever told you about a brokerage account, well, now you know, okay? Because no one has explained it to me until like last year. I had to get on threads and social media and see people talking about these things and start to do my research. And unfortunately, I wasn't in the circles. I wasn't, in the family that talks about these things. And so I had to learn on my own. But I have to say that it's never too late. So I want you to go ahead and drop in the comments and tell me, have you been investing in a brokerage account outside of your retirement account? And if you haven't, what is stopping you? Is it because what stopped me, you just don't know the information? You're thinking that you need to have a lot of money to start investing, or is it something else? Let's go ahead and share. And if you are new to my channel, I want to welcome you. My name is Dupay Alaru, and this is your daily dose with Dupay. If you enjoyed this video, I would love to encourage you to subscribe and come back, as I'm going to be sharing a lot of updates and videos about retirement, about saving in your emergency fund, about paying off debt, all things about increasing your credit score, and really about starting over after 40 and how to build wealth when you're in this stage of your life. I hope you tune in next time. Until then, I'm going to wish you all a beautiful and blessed day.